in there. That's really what I want you to see.
Sosa's my favorite competitor. And yeah,
Yo, shout out to Sos
shout
first
out to
off,
Sos,
first
for
and
sure.
foremost.
That was crazy. Yeah, definitely. He got insane work ethic, and it started off like it was just like stupid shit. Like he think he better, I think I'm better, and we did something that nobody else has the courage nor the professionalism to do, and we had a FaceTime call before we even got into this. We was like, yo, we gonna do this. He's like, yo, this is your camp right here in my hand. And I'm like, I'm sitting there. I'm like,
I'm not even asking about that spray. I'm asking more so the lap stand music that you've been dropping singles here and there, but even between Bandana Land and Bob Mercer, it's like a little space. Y'all cooking.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. The recording and all the mixing stuff falls on me too, so I could definitely take credit for some of the lapses. I might want to sit behind some things, you know what I mean? It might not be ready in my eyes, or he might want to push the button on it. I might say it might need something else. So you know, a part of it is me putting back my own perfectionism.
It's down bad.
Yeah, if you ain't bucking, you looking, you heard.
Yes.
Froze up, cause they know what's up. Bitches know what's us, got the phones up, hold up.
Like and subscribe!
Hot Water Podcast. You know my name is Verge, King of the Herb. Hit me when you want to splurge. We don't do those, you know the vibes. Y'all know who I'm here with today, man. Please introduce yourself.
Jacob Santana, man. You already know Suffering County, the label. I'm here with my brother.
Suffering County Puffy over here.
Yes, sir. You already know what's going on.
Suffering County, man. Over the years, I've heard a lot of people say different things concerning the county and what it means to be from here. When you say the word Suffering County, that shit hits me right. For me, at least. I don't know about y'all. I want y'all to explain to me what it means to y'all. I briefly can say it's been a rough ride since I got here. You know what I'm saying? I got here in 2003, and it's been rough ever since. Please explain to me why y'all chose Suffering instead of Suffolk. That's the play on it, right?
Yes,
sir.
Yeah.
So please explain to me why y'all went that direction.
I mean, the word really speaks volumes in itself. A lot of people come out here, they see there's nice areas out here, but between every town you go to, there's always one that has extreme turbulence. There's always one town that's worse than the other. And, you know, we came up how we came up, and thankfully my pops got us out of situations that we didn't need to be in, right? Put us in somewhere that's better, but still we see the suffering with a lot of things that we do on a day-to-day basis, and a lot of the people that we surround ourselves with within the label, family or not, we see the suffering in them too, you know. So that's why when we get so close-knit with people, they're people that's been with us for years. So the Suffering County was also a play on the word Suffolk, but it was more what a lot of us go through on a day-to-day basis in this county. It's really not all sunshine and rainbows over here. So exactly, for sure.
That was the reality of the flip on the from Suffolk to Suffering. That's the reality of Suffolk County. It's Suffering County, whether it's drug use or mental health abuse or even in the prison systems. You know, the Suffering County banner and the name could relate to all of it. It covers all of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
I know that's still promo for y'all. I'm not but the whole Suffolk County is suffering for a long time.
Right.
It's probably a small percentage, maybe 5 or 10. It's like they don't see the pain. They don't know what's really going on. They see it like, nah, it's Long Island.
Yeah.
We just out here. We're on an island. We chilling. It's not.
Nah, it's not.
I came out here thinking it was that, and Third Precinct put me in perspective. You know what I mean? They put me right where I belonged at the time. But you know, it is what it is. I want to talk about Bob Mercer, man. I like to play on. I don't know if you know me, but I understand more than people expect me to most of the time. So when I seen the brothers you know, that's son from the movie.
Yeah.
Y'all brothers and all of that. I said, all right, where he going with this now? Break down. Was that just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks, or this is a game plan from a long time ago? Or break that down.
Both. I make a lot of music with my brothers, right? And my brother pushed me in the right direction to for everything. And then it came to one point, he's like, "Yo, listen, bro, you got nothing but rap. Like, we need some songs. We need some, and we also need a concept." So I guess it was around the time where they just dropped Four Brothers again for us to watch on like Netflix and shit like that. It was just coming back around. So it came to that point where we was just in the studio, and I guess we had the idea to do like a Bob Mercer tape and go into that tape, because I had a couple bars in a couple songs.
In one bar, you said, "I'm like Bob Mercer, I'm Merkia,
pull a hearse up."
And then from there, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, we gotta do a whole one song before we even thought about doing the album. I had that bar, and then it was like, we gotta do.
We're always creating, so
a
that
whole
bar
album
may, that
like
bar
that.
may have inspired us.
Yeah.
I pretty much hear, since I do all the recording and mixing, I hear the most of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it Red Boom the label? Red Boom Records? Which one is it?
It's both of it.
Both.
Reverend Records is the whole thing.
Suffolk County, then. Suffolk County just.
Suffolk County
is like
is
is the overall brand that encompasses that. So
Yeah,
Reverend Records would be the recording part of
We
it.
have folks dynamics.
Yeah. So the
Red Boom is the label.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the music side of it. Boom. Suffering County is
Yeah.
the whole brand with multiple umbrellas.
It's the
under it.
collective, yeah. It's the
Right.
collective of all of it.
Talk to me. Hold on. You the youngest. Talk to me about the dynamic of having older brothers just pushing you to yo, nah, this way. I'm an older brother, so I know how hard the push can be.
Oh man, look, man, the toughest thing was being able to take the constructive criticism. That is the toughest. Like, that could make or break anybody, especially if it's coming from people who you love and you look up to greatly. But my brother put it in ways that he started off with things that he liked and followed up with things that I need to change. That was the best way for me to take the constructive criticism. Like, that got me to this point.
Followed up on what he liked.
He started with what he liked. He pointed out areas in which I was doing good, but he highlighted areas in which I was lackluster. And, you know, I just took that and I was like, listen, I'm just going to do better. Instead of me being demoralized or losing confidence, that was my confidence builder. Damn.
He was that kid that was like knocking on the door. What's going on in here? What's going on in here?
They was in the studio already.
Yeah.
They was in the studio
I was in
already.
there.
I was too young.
Low. Shout out Suffering County Low.
Start moving furniture when I get home. So yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Low.
So it was you and Low in the room. He listening from outside hearing the
Yes,
bass.
sir.
He's hearing the bass,
Yeah.
like,
He and then he started breaking in. He's young.
It
He's young.
started off just wanting to hang out.
Yeah.
What age? They had to be young. They was
I had to be like 12.
Yeah. He wasn't even.
I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
11, 12.
You were a teenager already.
Yeah. I was like, yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Right.
outside. You outside
Right.
already.
Right. And we thriving off our hobbies at first, cause I'm self-taught from the ground up. So
Your first program you was using.
Mixcraft, and then we
Long time ago.
moved on to Pro Tools 9, and then Pro Tools 10, and then I made the transition from recording to just being a producer. Got an MPC, and then it was on from there. MPC to Ableton, so it was just always like a self-learning environment and trial and error environment. So
That's ill because you know the program in only ways you're gonna know the program. Nobody
Yeah.
can steal your shortcuts. They see
Right.
you working, they're like, what the fuck is this doing?
right.
Catch that, you know what I mean? He
Yeah.
didn't Control Z that shit. He did some other
Yeah,
shit.
it's not that easy as just walking into the studio and people being like, yo, put a beat on. It's like, when we get into the studio, we have a record player that we have, a converter that we can plug right into the computer that goes right into our programs. That's where we like elevated to. Instead, because we don't want to be on YouTube looking for samples, because 9 times out of 10, those samples are getting grabbed by the second. So we're trying to have physical copy of the records if we can, you know.
Well, I believe you got an upper hand when you talk about doing, because that's like called almost an interpolation.
Yeah.
Like when you interpolate as opposed to sampling, you at least get a couple points.
Yep.
Sampling ain't gonna take your shit.
No.
That's mine.
Nah. He's
That's
chopping it.
mine.
He's chopping it up in a way where you can't even
His
hear it.
interpolate, that's where the language gets
Yeah,
lost.
But he was kicking in the door a couple times. I had to tell him you can't hang out. There's grown folks over here, you know.
You're embarrassing me.
And he's, you know, I just remember always being impressed.
That was crazy because I got to side with him. I'm the older bro, so I got to look at him like, yeah, I want to do the same thing. Yo, get up out of here,
You know?
man. You making it hot.
Yeah, so
I was
you know,
young,
At
bro.
what age for you were you saying, you know what? This little nigga rhyme, let me.
Nah, I'm not gonna front. That's my little brother, but he always impressed me.
Yeah.
He always impressed me. So I, you know, and even impressed me even more when he would take heed of my word. So it was very short lived me kicking him out. So I let you know, nah, you can't come in this time. But and then after a couple, maybe his first or second rap, I'm like, all right, well, shit. Come up in here. This is what we doing over here. Look, matter of fact, this is how you fix that. This is how you count that. This is how many bars you want. This is what a bar is.
I remember vividly, like I was.
This is what I'm listening to. This is what you should be listening to. That other shit is dirt over there.
Yeah, they were in the room talking about, yo, how much bars is that? He's like, count it right now. So they're rapping it, and somebody to the right of him is counting. This Ed Holiday and this another gentleman called Corey. They counting bars, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, what the hell? What is that? At the time, I'm just writing poetry, and then my boy Manny the Maverick, he actually sat down with me and showed me how to count bars and what each bar meant, how to write it down in a way where it's easier for me to read and count it like that. I remember that was one of my earliest moments of being able to attach numbers to lyrics.
That's when the math started making sense to you.
Yeah, but I learned that in school.
Okay.
This is a funny story, actually. I didn't really tell nobody this.
I want exclusive.
In elementary school, I really wasn't tuned in too much in any like subject, but when poetry came in, because we had to do poetry. That was.
What style of poetry? Like haikus?
Oh, they taught us all poetries, but when we got to write about stuff that was personal, like I was the only kid that wrote about something that's mad personal. Like I didn't really care too much to be embarrassed. Like I was already open, ready to pour my heart out with this poetry. So they had us take home a paper and we had to write a poem. So the title of the poem, I remember this like yesterday. The title of the poem was called To My Grandfather, the One I Never Met, right? And I wrote a poem about how my grandfather unfortunately passed away a week before I was born, right? And I just, like, it was a poem of me talking to him and, like, his situation and how he went. So I bring that poem in the next day after writing it by hand, and the teacher told me to stay after class. So I stay after class.
Stay after class.
Yeah, stay after class. She didn't say nothing in front of nobody. She had the poem in her hand.
What grade? What grade you talking about?
You said elementary school, so
It's like third.
Grade 6.
It's like third, second grade.
So you're 7 years old. Okay.
Yeah, it's like second grade, because I was writing poetry for, like, that was before I even started writing, when I was getting around them. And I didn't even know, like, nothing's clicking to me at that point. Like, I got something that I could do. And she told me to stay after class. She's like, listen, I'm going to ask you something. I want you to be my English teacher. She's like, I want to ask you something. I want you to be completely honest with me.
Like and subscribe!
And I'm like, what's going on? Like, what did I do wrong? She's like, who wrote this poem for you? And I'm like, what do you mean?
wow.
She's like, where did you get this poem? Because at the time you can't just pull an iPhone up at that time and be like, just search some shit. There was no Chat GPT back then. So I'm like, that poem is about my grandfather. He passed away before I could meet him. And she's like, I want to hold on to this poem to show my students in the future as an example of what poetry is supposed to be. Yo, man, I think her name was.
You forgot her name? That's crazy.
It's a L. Yo, listen, bro. It's instances in life where I wasn't tuned in like that, because I had 4 or 5 different teachers at that time. It was my English teacher. I know that for a fact. She had brown hair. She had brown hair, straight, always straight hair. She was a very, very nice lady. Shout out to Jericho Elementary, man.
All right, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she held it down. she kept it real because that was the first time I looked at it. I was looking at everybody. I'm like, what you writing about? What you writing about? What you writing about? I was like, oh, all right, I'm gonna write about Puerto Rico. And then when I took the poem home, I wrote about my grandfather. She's like, I'm gonna keep this poem and I'm gonna show my students. I actually wonder if she still got that poem. That would be crazy to get my hands on that. That would be, if she's still there, that would be crazy to get my hands on that album.
Yeah,
But that was my
Facebook's
first instance.
popping.
Is like,
You don't even gotta go to the school. Matter of fact, you just holler at them on Facebook, like you just said.
yeah, I gotta go to the school and 'cause I don't remember her name. God, yo, forgive me, but I don't remember her name, man. It is, and I would love to get my hands on that poem. She kept it for her students, so that was like my first time like being introduced to poetry and actually loving it. And then I took the poetry and I started writing poetry. It started off being like religious and stuff like that, and like prayers to God, and then it elevated into just me talking about ambition. Yeah, that was like, I gotta write about something else.
What was the initial draw for you? Was it the music? Like you would hear the music, or you hear people rapping?
Just how much fun they were having.
Oh yeah. We was having ciphers every family party, cause families get together, and there's a lot of talented people in my family. So, I mean, a lot of them are under the Suffering County Collective, but I mean, it's at a baby shower. We in the back, you know what I mean, ciphering it up, rapping. So, like, I'm sure you seen the allure of that, and wanted to be a part of it, because,
Yeah.
there's nothing like a good cipher.
You don't want to be involved.
Yeah.
It's like a good cipher. It's rare nowadays.
Loved ones having fun, like, hold on.
Every family party, we pull up. We in Brentwood or we in Mastic. I had to go to those parties. I didn't. What? It was, and it was Sue. It was. What? That shit bred us. That shit made us. And I had to go to these parties, man. And I remember it like yesterday. We all in a circle, and free my cousin Blast, man. He would set it off, and he would have a gallon of Henny in his hands. And whoever rapping, you gotta take a shot. Whoever's next, take a shot, and they hold the bottle. Then when they done rapping, they pass the bottle. That's. I was just wanted to be in those circles and freestyle off the top. That was the one thing. You can't bring no writtens. But me, I got away with it because I was younger. So sometimes I bring writtens, but it evolved into me going straight off the top. And that was a lot of the reason what made writing for me easier, because I would have so much practice amongst my peers and family parties and ambiances like that. People I don't know from extended family.
Just hearing you and giving you the applause and giving you the nod, like,
Yeah.
I know you was getting a lot of those.
That meant the most.
Under the table, like, yo, yeah, I like
That meant the most.
Yeah.
That meant the most to
And
me.
here we all full circle, Bob Mercer. Now, Bob Mercer, that's your last project out? That's the last one you put out? You've been putting singles out.
Yeah, I did. We did Bob Mercer. Did we do Suffering Lords after Bob Mercer?
It came out around the same time.
Yeah.
I think Suffering Lords came. It's a collab tape. We just cooking. We cooking more. We got like 3 or 4 tapes worth. You know what I mean? So
Got an album. The Hiatus.
yeah.
A lot of.
So that you just want to For us, we want to cook the food, and we want it to be perfect, and we want it to be memorable. So it takes a while, and life happens, but it's never we never put the fork and knife down. We never put the tools down. We just keep at it. So we have a huge collection of music.
Everywhere you go is a lot of splash. I had seen you at a showcase at Social Media House a couple years ago. I see you doing a Punchline Academy.
Yeah.
Shape 05. Like everywhere you go, you leaving a splash. So I asked you that not because I'm trying to highlight it. I'm trying to figure out why the lapses. Why not keep punching? Because that's the new shit now.
Yeah.
Boldy James got like 5 albums this year.
Right.
That's my newest favorite artist right now, Boldy. Yeah, I just got into Boldy actually. I'm super late, but it's cool for me because I got so much to listen to. But the Hiatus, aside from getting our feet in the ground, everybody gotta pay rent, bro. We can't be out here with no money in our pocket. and just taking our time and then getting comfortable with taking our time.
And the reason,
Time, really.
Hold on, I gotta cut you off because I want you to understand that it's really not. I'm not trying to bullshit you. I know you the type of nigga to jump in.
Yeah.
I seen you watching as a watcher, just like I was, and jump in the fray. You caught a little friendly fade with Sos.
Yeah.
This nigga's not a slouch. This nigga's not
Nah.
yo, I'm gonna wait for the moment. So that's why when I see a lapse, I'm like, life gotta be going on right now. Because there's no way all this fun is happening. The same way this your whole life you've been doing this.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
The get-togethers in the back, you're like, I gotta get in here, hold on. Why you ain't getting in there? That's really what I want you to see.
Sosa's my favorite competitor.
That was a good
man.
swallow.
And
I hurt my heart with the Dominican breakfast shit.
Yo, shout out to Sos first and
We
foremost.
gotta get him on here.
that was crazy. Yeah, definitely. He got insane work ethic, and it started off like it was just like stupid shit. Like he think he better, I think I'm better, and we did something that nobody else has the courage nor the professionalism to do, and we had a FaceTime call before we even got into this. We was like, yo, we gonna do this. He's like, yo, this is your camp right here in my hand. Crushing. And I'm like, I'm sitting there. I'm
So I'm not even asking about that free. I'm asking more so the lapse in the music that because you've been dropping singles here and there, but you know, even between Bandana Land and Bob Mercer was like a little space in between. Y'all cooking.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
for sure.
No, I could take some of it. I could take some of the blame too because like you know the recording and all the mixing stuff falls on me too. So I could definitely take credit for some of the lapses. I might want to sit behind some things. You know what I mean? It might not be ready in my eyes, or he might want to push the button on it. I might say it might need something else. So you know, a part of it is me putting back my own perfectionism. You know, and just like yo, this could live. Step out the way, bro. Yeah, that's all.
Let them fly, please let them fly.
That's all. We got a gang of music.
I'm understanding the pattern. It's like, all right, bro said hold off on the album, but that don't mean I can't drop that single.
Yeah,
that don't mean I
for
can't
sure.
put this freestyle out.
Sure.
That don't mean I can't jump in this battle. Let him go, man.
Right,
he got that battery in my back all the time. though. He always told me, he's like, listen, bro, we gotta drop. I don't know what you're doing, but we gotta drop. And he always applies that pressure. And if I didn't have him, bro, like I wouldn't even be making music because I wouldn't even have that. If they wasn't doing what they was doing, I wouldn't have shown no interest.
True indeed, your story. But I'm saying your character, you would be dropping.
Yeah, I'll be dropping.
He retired today, you would just be dropping.
To that caliber, I don't think it would be the same caliber, right? Without him, because like when we do this shit because we love it, and that's what separates us from a lot of other people. Like I could see when I see Nick Moody making music, I could see that he does the shit because he loves it and he stays in his lane and he focuses on what he wants to. No, he don't, and he focuses on what he wants to perfect.
You know what? The paisan, you heard?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he does great with what he does, and I tip my hat to people who does that, especially people that I know personally, and watching what he does, like I know, like that's a colleague right there, for sure.
We're gonna drop, bro. You inspired it. We're gonna drop.
Yeah.
I want exclusive, man.
Yeah.
We make the magic happen over here.
That's
man.
a fact.
Let's take it back to Bandana Land, man. I turned the tape on. I said, hold on. I know this is not my guy, King Jesus Castro. On the
What? Nah, he's
tapped
taking
in, man. I'm tapped in, man. I know everybody everywhere. Everybody know me. I'm not one of them niggas that say, yeah, I know niggas, and they don't know them back. You know what I mean? Niggas know me.
Yo, my boy Castro,
Spoke
man.
to me about it. And I feel like I was on that live that he did that rant where he was like, Jesus, man. Christ, man. I feel like I was on that live, but I could be lying.
Real, he speaks. He speaks.
Sometimes he drops jewels, but then he starts. You gotta pull the reins back.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It
He
is
had
super
me-
interesting.
he
You know
had
why?
me
He's an old
glued.
head.
He
Yeah,
is.
He's like 45.
He has
And
mad
he's
wisdom.
not dumb neither.
He's not stupid, bro. He's just
He has mad wisdom. It's
in
just
those
you know.
moments, he's just unmedicated. That's how I like
Exactly, yeah, and
it. No,
Yeah, and I need some of that. When he's spitting some of that, I need some of that. So that's
That shit
just,
gonna put a battery in your back.
bro,
What?
I need that energy.
What?
So it
He be
just
wildin', I be
translates.
like, yo, all right, hold on, we gotta lock him in the closet somewhere. He
son,
wildin'.
Right.
he's
But when
wildin'.
he's just talking
Right.
and everything is good, the vibes is positive.
Son.
That's
energy
where it
can't be
is.
fake.
It translates. So
His energy cannot be fake. You know what
You
I'm
can't,
saying?
yeah, you can't duplicate
Yeah,
that, bro.
yeah. Talk to me about what was the was he there? Did you have him in the studio at that time? Like,
Not in the
not for that
studio,
shit, I'm saying,
but
like,
he
at the
has
time.
been in the studio. We try to extend invitations when we can. But you know, he battles his own demons, you feel me? And when he get around us, bro, he don't have to battle none of those cuz the purity that he receives of
Like he among family.
exactly. So he's been in the studio a couple times.
He said when he heard that record, when he heard it, you had him on that. You had him
That
on
man, yo, that man cried.
I stumbled upon one of his videos.
He cried.
I stumbled upon one of his videos and I just started sampling it. I just started to, yeah. Nah.
Yeah, but
I met him. Yeah. But I've been following him for like close to 10 years now. So, and then so I sampled him, and before we put it out, I met him, and we know mutual people, so we broke bread right there, and then it's been like family ever since then. And then when it released and he heard it, he was happy about it, and you know. But I actually took the clips from a video that I don't believe he has posted anymore. But this shit was legendary.
He had a lot of shit. I think I had a conversation with him when I seen him at the barbershop. I was like, yo, you gotta take that shit down.
It was legendary. Some of the shit.
He be wildin'. He be wildin'. He'll go to the police. He'll go to the
our
police and
entertainment.
wild out.
For our entertainment, yeah, but for him as a human,
Nah, bro.
he gotta put.
To the subway, slap the whole cup shit at the nigga like, wow, yo, make my shit.
Oh, the subway? He's
Yeah,
like,
you saw that?
what you
God,
do when
yeah.
I made you make that face?
Oh,
Yo,
yeah,
when we heard that, we lost it.
I use his energy multiple
Lost it.
times because a lot of times I need that. I don't like to speak, so I let his energy speak for me, especially on a beat. If it's cold enough or if it's fucking, yeah, I just let him boom. What I, yeah,
He's different, bro.
Castro, shout out to Jesus
Yeah,
Castro. Man.
shout
Talk
out to
me
him.
about Bandana Land, man. Where was you at in that space, man? Like, how? It seems like you had a chip on your shoulder for that album. It seemed like you was really trying to talk to me.
Yeah, super high spirits and confidence, elevated to an all-time high. You know, we ran into JoJo Simmons, and he fucked with our music so much he actually wanted to come back to the crib and hear more. And when we met him at, he was real close to the house, so we just told him to come back to the crib. And it was like me and my mom and the whole family, we would watch Run's House on TV. So like to bring him back to the crib, like we just told mom that he's coming back, and she was like ecstatic. He came back to the crib, he heard some music, and the person he was working with at the time, shout out to Kiddo. Kiddo was looking at him. He's like, yo, listen, I just want to let you know everything you describing that you want in an artist is right here. So we got some paperwork worked out, and he put the battery in my back to get that album out.
Yeah, he said 1 month.
1 month.
Yeah.
That's the time that he gave me.
What was it that he heard?
Just a song with my brother Low. He heard a song with my brother Low, and then he was actually at a batting cage with a go-karting spot over by where we live, and then engineer we previously worked with for a long time, only on cameras. He actually noticed his Porsche, because everybody knows his Porsche, and it had Jersey plates. So he ran into JoJo. He's like, yo, listen, we got this hookah lounge to the left. Maybe you could come down, you know, maybe be profitable situation for you. We got some music. He walked into the hookah lounge and listened to a song that Cam's had with my brother Low, and then he's like, where's Low at? Bring him down here. Low got the call. I'm sitting in there. Low, yeah. Low getting ready. He's like, yo, I'm about to go to Sphinx. JoJo Simmons heard my shit and he wanna hear it. I was like, yo, I'm coming with you. But at the time, I'm like 14, so they don't let nobody in the hookah lounge. So I'm like, I'm a go, but we know the owner. So I'm gonna come with you. He's like, all right, come on, let's go. So we pulled up, and then he looked at me. He's like, He heard the song. He's like, yeah, I really fuck with it. He looked at me. He's like, what about you though? You look like a superstar. What you do? And I was like, I rap. And he's like, what? Rap for me right now. So I rap for him. And he was like, ever since then, it's been like, we had a situation with him, and we still do. Yeah, we still do. That's my guy right there.
Engineers and stuff.
Ever since then, he came back to the crib from Jersey, like every other week to every 2 weeks. He'd pull up and check in, and it came to a point where he's like, all right, look, this is what we gonna do. Like, we gonna get this album out. You guys got a month to get this album done. And that's when Bandana Land was born.
Pre JoJo was out. I mean, or done.
There was a few out. We was fucking with SoundCloud at the time.
Like and subscribe!
Exactly, and that was all him.
When you tap in, it's because we
That
got
was
more
all
music
him.
under the name Suffering County, which is like the collective name. If you search it up on all the distributions. I might have it on.
Why gotta be some secret top search?
Nah.
Man, like, you had to tell me that I wouldn't know. Like, yo, I gotta type in Suffering County and get more Jacob. Like,
So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's on there. It's all the because
I got on the link, boy.
I handle all of it, so it'll be our 4 best, or maybe 3 best, or maybe 2 artists on it. But it's always a collection of artists, so it doesn't always fall like maybe this person might not want it. So if I'm as the producer and the showrunner, I just like, this is my vision for it.
Yeah.
So I'm the conductor, and it's Suffering County Volume 1,
RZA, you ain't
Suffering
gotta hold
County
everything
Volume
back
2.
though, baby. Drop some of that
Yes.
music, man. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
for sure I am.
Service to the people, man.
Nah,
You
this
know
is
what
the
I mean?
start of it. You about to see.
Okay, it's the start of it.
You done
Been
opened
there
it up.
7, 8, 9 years in
I
the
know,
making.
but
About
you
the
didn't-
start of it. Nigga, when we gonna
I've been
finish?
hoarding, and you done exposed it. You done exposed it.
The hoarding.
I got the air, I heard. I'm like, yo, hold on, this ain't matching up. I'm looking, I'm like, yo, hold on, the dates. I'm looking at the dates. I'm looking at the posts. I'm like, hold on, what's going on here? These niggas, they making moves, but where the product feel like it's stashed somewhere in the vault.
Right,
like,
right.
Open that vault up, boy. Let that shit out.
Right.
How'd you get the Chris Rivers feature?
That was JoJo. That was JoJo. JoJo
Yeah.
made the call, and
Yup.
he was on the phone with him. He said, "Yo, I got this artist. I need you to hop on something." And he went crazy. He was in a different bag for that. And for us, it was different because it was like, what happened was we had a show over in Smithtown, and Chris Rivers was there with what's his name?
With Cuban Link?
With Cuban Link.
Okay.
And then I was rapping.
He was with Cuban?
Yeah, I was rapping at the time, and it was basically like a fake little contest to who have the best performance. And like when I performed, I felt the aura that I was giving off, and he was noticing like, all right, nah, this kid is different. So right then and there, the feature got locked in with JoJo. But JoJo's he's such an assassin with getting work done. I had no idea, and it came into fruition before I even known. Here, he was already cooking up behind the scenes, but it was better that way, so I could focus on what I need to do, and not be deterred or be starstruck and lose my drive behind this shit. Cause I could be like, oh shit, I got a Chris Rivers feature coming, like I'm on. Nah, I can't think like that. I gotta think like we gotta make this shit happen. Not that it's gonna happen for us. So yeah, that feature got locked in after that performance.
You don't really have a lot of features on there.
Nah, it was supposed to be my album and then a couple honorary mentions on there, you know.
What was the reception like?
Oh man, I already picked up some steam with a couple of singles that I did with JoJo. He got me a Justin Love feature that like immortalized me in school. Everybody, I was in high school, 17, 16, and I dropped a single when I was like 16 years old with Justin Love, and bro, the whole school went crazy for it, bro. Like it was different. I didn't Center Reach High School, so like that made it easier to get my name out there because people had to see my face every day and be familiar with it. But
What was his reception like when he heard it? What was his overall? He was all in. He was like, yo, yeah, this is it.
Yes.
He told you got a month. I'm assuming that you had to hand it into him. He had to listen to it and say, we ready.
We were right there too, like right towards the end of it. We worked up right towards the deadline. We had some records left over too.
Yeah.
Lost tape.
Hey, y'all see who it is now, y'all.
Lost
Don't
tapes.
blame Jacob when y'all want more Jacob. My man over here.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
JoJo helped us pick out a lot of the tracks too, you know, and some of them wasn't full songs, some of them wasn't ready, and we just picked out the best songs out of all of them. You know, everybody got that one gun that's a throwaway, right? Like, you gotta bite that bullet, and like it's better to be prepared for a situation, right, and not have one, as opposed to having a situation and not being prepared for it. So we let some of them songs go because one, they wasn't ready, two, they didn't match the vibe. Some were angry, some were happy, some were sad, some were just babbling.
Nah, y'all put together a good tape. That Bandana Lamb was an easy listen. You know what I'm saying? It was a good listen.
Yeah.
Y'all put together from start to finish. The way you dropped everything in there, even just the splash of Jesus Castro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that shit was fire from the beginning.
That made it an album.
That's a fact.
That made it an
I
album.
try to keep it.
No,
Oh, yo,
exactly.
bro.
You made it y'all made it an album. He made it a movie.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
You know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
he did.
He took it to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
He
did.
dropped it in there a few more times. I'm like, nah, this is really bad. Man, I was surprised that it was that much time that passed since that shit dropped. I'm looking at the calendar.
It surprises us too. It surprises us too.
What was out at that time? 2018. That's what I think about. Like, what was out at that time? Niggas was on Love Vibes,
Childish Gambino,
yeah.
ASAP Rocky,
You didn't sound like he was competing with
Joey Bad. Nah, it
Sound
was.
like Jago.
Exactly. And that's not the first time I heard that, and that's another thing that kept me staying true to what I am. Like, I could very easily hop in a drill lane, right? But what these people don't understand is when you hop in a drill lane, you going to jail, and you bring in a certain amount of attention that you don't want to bring to those that you love. So if you care about the people that you love, I would advise staying away from it. You know. That's just me personally, but it's very easy to do shit like that, you know, because people go crazy over violence, and we see it every day. We see somebody getting beat up on the side of the road. We don't try and break it up.
Crazy for violence too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For this
For
violence,
sure.
we're gonna pivot right into the situation we was talking about earlier.
You seen it on Sway.
I was on the live. I'm gonna describe to y'all the situation. I was on the live. You know, I'm tapped in when I need to be tapped in because my name is Verge. You know what I'm saying? So I'm tapping in, and I see niggas talking crazy. Niggas like, yo, I'm the best. Nah, I'm the best. No, I'm the best. So I'm like, damn, we just gonna have a I'm the best Olympics, or what's gonna happen here? These niggas got right to work. This is what I like to see. I like to see niggas talk and then go chop it. And y'all niggas, I feel like was showing a lot of the behind the scenes. And shout out to Shows because he went, shot a video, did all that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all niggas was showing niggas the process. Yo, we in the stew. I feel like y'all had a live one night. Y'all didn't even know I was in there. You don't know me. I'm watching. I'm sniping the cut like this. I'm watching niggas on the live. I'm like, yo, these niggas showing the studio. They showing the vibe. They showing everything. Like, yo, talk to me about what was it that made you feel like I gotta jump out here. It felt like not egos, but like clash of the pens. Like, nah, I'm one of them. Talk to me about what it was that you really said, you know what? I'm entertaining this. I'm here. I'm entertaining. I don't have to skip past it. I'm not too big for this.
I got a lot of love and respect for Sos.
No, but it wasn't just because it was Sos.
Nah.
You jumped out there for you.
Yeah. I jumped right out that window because it was a lot of times where we were getting ready to get to this point because we knew when we're getting into this type of field, there's gonna get shots thrown at us, and little do a lot of people know, like, we prepare for that every day. And when it's 10 years in this game, bro, it's like, all right, you try me now after 10 years, like, I gotta go, and
Yo, it was a good squabble. See that nigga squabble. I was like,
yo,
more of this. I need more. You know what I
he
mean?
brought the best out of me when it comes to this shit. I felt like it was, like, I was in that studio, I was writing to see if I can get a reaction out of Jadakiss. Like if I could make Jadakiss turn his head, that's how I was writing for Sos. So that just goes to tell you how much he's respected, right? So like I'm not coming to lay down and die, bro. That's not gonna happen. My last. Oh yeah. Just for
Streets called it fair. I heard a lot of like, yeah, Sos might have won, but Jacob put up a fight. I heard some niggas say Jacob won. Like the streets was torn. It was torn between the two of y'all. It was a lot of good bars. It was a lot of good feeling. Meaning he went to what he called your hood and shot a video. Or at least that's what niggas were saying. It's like, yo, he went to your hood, shot a video. Like I know it wasn't that, but you understand what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
the optics
and
for
the
people who don't know.
They don't know anything, and that's why I brought up one of the bars in the response. I'm like, bro, you know where I work. Why you ain't past the bar? That's something I would have done, but it's also a triple entendre, because I'm talking about. Now we're talking about each other. I'm talking about you too. I'm like, why haven't you passed the bar of excellence that I believe that you could pass? It's not just personal. It's like, bro, I know you could do better than this. So like, he went to not just my old hood, but you know where I work. You know angles. You know punches. Why you ain't exercise that? And I'm happy that he didn't, because that would have brought another type of feeling into this rap feud. It would have made it a little more personal.
And maybe that's why he did it.
Yeah, so and that like now I see his whole thing. But I would have wished that he spent a little more time on me as opposed to a lot of other people addressed on that response. And don't get me wrong, bro. There's some people mentioned on there that still haven't responded, bro. So like, and like we men at the end of the day, but we artists too. So like,
I was able to move through that.
Come on.
Conversation after and got some.
Of course.
Oh yeah. See him
Sos
person.
is definitely a legend.
What?
That was a legendary battle.
He brought the best out of me.
It was an honor too.
It was an honor to watch.
And
man.
it's-
it was fun.
Yeah,
It
I
was
feel
fun.
like how you feel when in terms of how the reception was. It was like, you know, it's up in the air.
Yeah.
It's up in the air.
It was torn for
And that was
sure,
the
yeah.
whole point.
In the beginning, it was fake unanimous. Niggas were saying Sos, but then as time was passing,
Yeah.
we were going back to that Dominican breakfast and saying, hold on.
Yeah, we, you
Hold
know,
on,
that's
let's
how
not be biased. Hold
that's
on.
how we planned for it. We like strategically we knew what it was gonna be, so we wanted to put our best foot forward, no matter what. It was gonna be like we was gonna control what we put out, and we were gonna stand on that regardless of what was coming.
Long either. This wasn't a long, drawn out battle.
Nah.
This was a 1, 2, 3. What up? This is almost face
Right,
to face.
and this is pre Drake and pre Kendrick. This
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
1 year before that too.
I
So
wanna say it was the first time I was seeing that in real time in a long time.
so yeah, it was a good battle, man. It was a good battle for real.
We did it different. We didn't let nobody come in between and tell us that we had to do this. We was on FaceTime with each other. Yeah, so
It's one of them fights where niggas talk to both. Yo, you want to scrap?
Yeah.
it's basically
Let 'em go.
that.
Let 'em go.
Yeah.
Let 'em go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yup.
Y'all went in there, y'all handled y'all business.
Yes, sir.
That was
And
fun.
Shout out to y'all, man. It was fun for us to watch.
That was
So
fun.
Sos, you gotta listen to it. It's called Copy Cool. I think it's on his Instagram.
Yeah.
And then we got Dominican Breakfast. That's out
And we
all
got,
platforms. And we got
Sosa's
Sosa's
Chariot.
Chariot. That's out all platforms. So
That one was
go relive the battle after fucking with
Yeah.
this
That one was
podcast, because it was definitely a
serious.
legendary battle. And this is pre Drake, pre Kendrick. So we ain't get no hints from no one. This is all organic. This is what's happening over here on the suffering.
I don't feel like none of the previous squabbles was like that way.
Nah.
Back to back.
Not for clout.
It wasn't all
Straight.
like
Hours. I'm talking about your shit drop. Here comes Sos.
yeah.
Then here comes Jacob. Like, oh Lord, this
Yeah.
is they rumbling. You
Kept
know
them
what
on
I
their
mean?
toes. Kept them on their toes. Yeah.
That was fire, man. Very entertaining at the time, man. I
Yeah.
hope you don't have to do that again, but if you do, I'm sure you're ready.
Yeah.
Talk to me about some necessary drops. We gotta make some drops. What's on the way? 2025 for Jacob Santana. Like, what can we expect?
I got an album that currently has like 30 to 29 songs.
Fuck, can we get that this year?
Of course.
Yeah,
of
that's
course.
coming this year.
course.
It's called The Book of Jacob. So that's gonna be a very personal album. It's gonna be a lot of things on there that describes the suffering behind the suffering county.
Executive produce, like,
Yeah.
you do all the beats exclusively? You don't,
Yeah.
you don't, no
Well,
outside-
I oversee, I sequence it, we together. We do a lot of the work, but mostly I oversee all of it. But I'll tap some producers. There's some, I came up with a bunch of fire producers. So
95% of the production is done by
I do a lot of it.
by him, and then I got gentleman Reese G14. He's disgusting. He's on there, and then I got like 2 songs from this dude Boger, 2 beats from him, and then I got a beat from our good friend Doki, a real big Korean and Philippine artist, huge, and those are the only people that are producing on this album, and that was just very soon before.
Wow, political, yo. I love when I get the political answers, y'all. That shit.
Well, I tell you this, it's definitely gonna be before October. It's definitely gonna be before October. I like dropping in October, but this is long overdue. So you definitely gonna see some drops. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We already got 1 single off of that. It's called
Jacob's Story.
It's called Jacob's Story. That was I'm torn between making that the intro or making it the outro. I'm torn between that. That's like the toughest thing. But everything is in sequence. Skits is on there. It's more shows. Yeah. That Book of Jacob was coming with another festival, and the festival is gonna have hand selected artists. It's not gonna be people hitting me up again. It's gonna be a local thing. Probably we're looking at Stereo Garden right now, because it's a really nice venue. And the first 2. The last one was Suffering. That was Suffering Lords, and the one before that was Bob Mercer. Both very successful at Social Media House.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we thought of it.
One of those.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones I went to see you at. No, matter of fact, nah. The one I saw when I first seen you, it was like a showcase.
Yeah. We allowed a lot of people to come and perform, but I want to hand select artists for the next one. I don't really ask the artist to do anything more than bring a few people out and stay for the whole show. Right? And that would be crazy if I can get Moody and Sos on that stage.
You can.
That would be crazy. That's something that we could definitely do. Yeah, we can get Rick Hyde down there too. Ricky.
We need some
Ricky's
music
good.
with all of those good fellas.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm gonna do what I gotta do for that.
Please, man, and let them out the vote.
Of course.
I know you got like 10 of the votes you let out for the people.
So much.
You know what I'm saying? It's in the cut.
I take my pack and just go right back to the studio.
Nobody they like to see the beef and crazy, but this is one of those things where it wasn't supposed to. We showed them what it's supposed to, how it's supposed to do, how it's supposed to go down.
And ultimately, it gotta bring back eyes and ears to the craft, to the culture and the craft. Yeah, like what does he got going on? What do we exactly? And that was the whole point of it.
I went and listened to both of y'all after that.
That's the whole point of it.
You drop. I said, hold on, son. Let me go check son.
Right. And we got plans too. Like, don't get it twisted. We got plans in the works. It's just stars are gonna align, and you'll see big things, and maybe we'll all sit down and we'll be able to have a podcast between all of us and document that whole period of time, because it was a crazy time. Exactly, yeah. So right,
you know what I mean? When you do put it together,
right,
you come back and do.
Yeah, it's just
all Hollywood with niggas.
Nah, hell no.
You got him right, yeah.
Nah, it was a special moment. It deserves a special. All of it was special. So yeah, I'm gonna honor it as such.
Yeah, definitely free my guys, man. Free my cousin Blast. Free my boy Pilg, man. Those is like older brothers to me right there. Shout out to not at the moment. Shout out to Mama Love. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, for sure.
Yeah.
That's the pillar right there. Shout out to Pops,
Yep.
keeping that roof over our heads. Shout out to Suffering County, the label, everybody a part of that stuck with us. Shout out to the people that continue to believe in us to this day. Shout out my brother Lo, he not here right now.
Yeah, shout out social media.
Shout out
house,
social media
shout
house
out to
Marky. Shout out to JoJo Simmons too,
Yes,
for
sir.
believing in me. That's a big one. That's still my God to this day. You know, Dow Jones. Shout out to all of them.
You got a new podcast.
Yeah, he got a podcast too. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's what it is. Shout out to all the artists too, and shout out
and
to
this
y'all.
platform specifically. Shout out to
y'all,
platform.
man, because
Yeah,
this is fun to do.
It's a community staple right here, man.
This is definitely fun to do, man. This is.
And shout out to you, my brother. You had, you had your homework done, and I can tell that you a true listener. We appreciate you. Yeah, I need that pressure. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate.
Book, you know what I mean? Yo, man, appreciate y'all for stepping through here. We had a good time. We don't really like to keep guests longer than, you know what I mean? Get your words in, and then we keep it moving. If y'all got anything else to say, nah. Joey puts this thing, man. You know the vibes. It didn't get too hot in here today.
Nah, we
they
good.
Too cool,
yeah,
you heard?
yeah.
They too cool. They too cool. Don't get hot. And they brought us gifts, man. Listen, man.
That last one
Kona.
is on you.
See, man. Listen, man.
That last one is on
Kona.
you. You heard?
Man, look. I need y'all niggas to see, man. Come up
Kona.
here. Don't come here empty-handed,
Tell
man.
him.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? It don't gotta be much.
Big
show
wave.
love. We showing
Yes,
love.
sir.
Show love back, man.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
sir. Yo, thank you.
We kick
Like
them
it's a
out, we don't
strive.
save hoes, rip the capo, flip the couch. What's the safe codes? It's the great low, grit the pouch. New us, we gon' own my pops, got babe bone, 50,000.